Namaste from New Delhi. Until 2014, Delhi was one of India's greenest cities and perhaps also as one of the greenest capital city in the world. However, with rising population and urbanization, Delhi had to decrease its open spaces and green belts. Over 78,000 trees were lost in the past 10 years, which is on average one tree every hour over the past 13 years. Not surprisingly, Delhi is one of the most polluted cities in the world. In fact, all the 10 most polluted cities in the world are currently in India. What you now see is a fire brigade that is there not to suppress any fire. The firemen are actually cleaning the trees. Apparently, the leaves of the trees were not able to absorb any more pollution and provide oxygen to its citizens. Air apocalypse. Delhi government also bought these water guzzling smog machines which would try to suppress pollution. The $40,000 vehicle mounted cannon sprays fine water droplets at extremely high speeds. Can you imagine what it feels like to have such machines in a water stressed city as Delhi? Traffic congestion, stubble burning, all increase the pressure on the existing infrastructure. This is how I got interested in cities and more particularly the future of cities. I really wanted to understand the root cause of the problem because clearly the solutions that we were applying in Delhi wasn't working. We live in something known as a linear economy. We take resources from the planet, we make products, and then once it's of no use, we just throw it. We don't know where the products are coming from and where it would go after its use. I draw a lot of inspiration from nature, and for this challenge, it is important to understand that there is no waste in nature. The leaves fall back to land and create an ecosystem for other organisms that decompose the leaves. Natural systems evolve to be closed loop and waste free. Humans should definitely learn from that. And hence, the linear economy has to change. We must transform all the elements of the take, make, waste system. That means how we manage resources, how we make and use products, and how and what we do with the materials afterwards. I think this is the easiest way to understand the concept. Recycling is not just good enough. Recycling does not mean that it would come back into the system. Everything recycled still ends up as waste. In circular economy, there is no concept of waste. How would that work? Let's check it out. Fundamentally, there are three principles of circular economy, namely, design out waste and pollution, keep materials and products in use, regenerate material and natural ecosystems. By changing our mindset to view waste as a design flaw, we can ensure that there is no waste and pollution at the first place. If transport, food, and construction was to become circular, emissions would reduce by 48% by 2030 and 85% by 2050 compared to 2012. This would also result in savings of around 600 billion euros. Now, when a plague tore through Milan in the 1570s, everything had to change. Shops were closed, mass was sung outdoors, a large church became hospital. By 1578, the disease had fallen back, but the city was in financial trouble and had shed almost a fifth of its population. Milan at that time came up with a 15-minute city idea. I think it is even more relevant today. It is about giving people the option to meet their needs within a 15-minute walk or cycle distance. The idea is that people don't hop in their car to get a pint of milk. This is a canal flowing in Delhi full of electronic waste. I really think humans are on the verge where they could destroy all life on Earth. The human tendency to consume is changing our planet and the life of it. But can we change our behavior? We really need to think and look our cities in terms of resources and material flows. We call this as urban mining. This reduces the need to extract new materials and reduces the amount of waste. Did you know that 1 ton of iPhone has 300 times more gold than 1 ton of gold ore? From transportation, let's also move to food in cities. Given that 80% of all food is expected to be consumed in cities by 2050, we have to make the most of our food by ensuring that its byproducts are used at its highest value. Singapore is on track to grow more than 30% of its own food by 2030. There is dire need to rethink infrastructure and incorporate agriculture as part of that ecosystem. This is what we call agri-texture. Why can't all public spaces and universities have open spaces to grow our food? I draw a lot of inspiration from this term, motai nai. It is a Japanese term which conveys a sense of regret concerning waste when the intrinsic value of an object of a resource is not properly utilized. When you Google the term future cities, it is full of images such as these, which is really futuristic and data oriented. I really think we need to put humans and environment at the center of all discussions. Only then we would make sure that we have the right vision in place for our cities. No one really knows what future holds for us. It is the actions we take now that define what is yet to come. Can you imagine that Delhi could add 10 years to every citizen's life if we go circular? How great that would be. Let's all join hands to ensure a better future of the next generation. Thank you.